Wow, we back. Live out your dreams. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And today, I ain't even gonna go over all the numbers because the only number that counts to me is the plus minus and the win or the L. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go over LeBron playoffs since he's been in the Western Conference, not the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference and the Western Conference, what they call it. And we're gonna go from there. Now we're not gonna count 2020 because that's the bubble championship. You ain't have no away games, you ain't have no crowd, and that was just you took 4 months off, and then you come back for a bubble championship in 2 weeks. AAU tournament is what I call it. So we don't even count this though. And LeBron came to LA 2018. So he missed the first year of playoff. Boom. Okay, cool. They get him AD and everything. They get the bubble. Boom. So this is his first. This is his first playoffs outside the bubble. Let's see what's going on here, LeBron. Okay, boom. First round. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. It's it. 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4. Okay, boom. You lost. Okay, out there, you out. Okay, so you got 2-4 playoff record. All right, we go to the next year. You got 16 games this year. Let's see what you did this year. But you got 2-4 for right now. Okay, boom. First round, 2-4 for right now. Okay, boom. Okay, you won. So you 3-4. Okay, so you 3-5. So you 4-5. So you 5-5. Now you 5-6. Now you 6-6. Okay, so you 6-6 in the Western Conference. Okay, you 6-5. No, you 7-6. I'm sorry. You're 7-7. You're 8-7. You're 9-7. You're 9-8. You're 10-8. Okay, cool. And then L. So you're 10-12 after your 2 years. Okay, you're 10-12 after your 2 years, and you got swept this last time. Okay, 10-12. Okay, cool. Okay, this year 10-12. Okay, boom. Okay, first round last year, 10-12. Okay, 10-13, 10-14, 10-15, 11-15, 11-16. Okay, cool. 11-16. Okay, cool. And then this year, 11-16. Okay, 11-17. Okay, 12-17. 12-18, 12-19, 12-20 in the Western Conference, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I go by. I don't go by plus minus. I mean, not plus minus. I don't go by points, rebounds, assists. I just go by the W and the plus and minus, bro. Real talk. Minus 22, plus 9, minus 10, minus 4, minus 14. But we ain't even gonna get too deep in all that. I just wanted to point out the fact that what's his record? He's 12-20. He's 12-20 in the Western Conference. He's 12-20 in the Western Conference. 22. 12-20 in the Western Conference, bro. And like I said, we don't even count the bubble championship because we already know that's games. So 12-20 in the Western Conference playoffs, bro. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, bro. I don't want to look at nothing else. I don't want to look at the Eastern Conference. He went to the championship 10 years in a row and playing against nobody here, playing against nobody there, playing against the Knicks, playing against the young Celtics team that should have beat them. They took them to game 7. Who else they played again? The Pacers, the Bucks. Them niggas ain't play against nobody. Atlanta Hawks. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna go with this 12 and 20 in the Western Conference. That's all we're gonna go by. We ain't gonna go by nothing else. 12 and 20 in the Western Conference. I ain't gonna talk about no assists, no rebounds, no points, and whoever he passed 50,000 points here, we just gonna go off the W or the L. That's it. The W or the L, folks. And I ain't mad at you. It is what it is. Don't nobody, but everybody want to talk about stats, but let's talk about the main stat, the W and the L, bro. And we're gonna leave it at that. 12 and 20 in the Western Conference playoffs since he's been with the Lakers. And like I said, the Bubble Championship is something else. That's not even a championship. That's an AAU tournament. You ain't had no away games. You had no fans in the crowd. You took off 4 months. Everybody wasn't even. You took off 4 months, then came back. It was some weird stuff. So we ain't even count that as a championship, and you shouldn't either. Only reason you got in the playoff a couple more times because they made a play-in tournament for you. So, but it's all good. We ain't even gonna talk about all that, bro. But like I said, it is what it is. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And y'all get at the kid. Peace. 12 and 20.